So following Survivor Series epic disaster and how, oh god, the main event sucked, WWE thought it'd be alright if they could apologize to us for what would go down on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. So what happened was Paige finally returned. Hooray! Paige is back! Yay! And a lot of people speculate, why didn't she join up with SmackDown or something like that during Survivor Series? And people kept reasoning, well, Asuka is kind of the bigger focus here, and if they bring back Paige only for her to lose to Asuka, that kind of would make no sense. Which I could actually understand, so I could forgive them for that. But Paige made her return in dramatic fashion, much to the delight and elation of the entire WWE universe, who are still suffering from NXT TakeOver and Survivor Series Afterglow. So, let's go ahead and see what Paige has to offer. She says that she has not come alone, and this led me to think that part of me was part one with me was dreading that maybe Alberto Del Rio was coming back, though she revealed that she's single, so they've broken up. Okay, so that's clearly not it. Another theory I was hoping for, and this was just wishful thinking, that WWE lied about releasing Emma. Like, haha, you actually thought we released Emma? We may be stupid, but we're not that ungodly stupid. And I would have given credit, like, ha, you got it, Vince. You actually did something right for once. No. That's too much thinking, and that's too much of a good idea, and plus that would have actually kind of been ironic considering Emma and Paige were kind of rivals back in NXT and would have actually really benefited a huge storyline if they did that. No. What happened was, two NXT gals of the women's division made their debut. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. They attacked Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Mickie James, as well as Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss afterwards, and oh god, they got their asses handed to them. Alicia Fox ran away, so that was hilarious. And I was looking up, wait, who's Sonya Deville? Who's Mandy Rose? So I went ahead and looked up on Wikipedia and some other sites in order to get clarification that these are indeed facts. And Sonya Deville is a mixed martial artist, and here's the thing, she was on the last season of Tough Enough, the 6th season, and she was placed in she was the third competitor eliminated from the competition, got signed to a WWE contract that same year in October of 2015, and, okay, she had made her debut, like, back in 2016, I believe. Let me double check. She made her in-ring debut on December 30th against Nia Jax during a live event, and then she made her true in-ring debut on August 17th, approximately nearly a year later. And she would eventually team up with her soon-to-be partner in crime, Mandy Rose. And ironically, she actually had teamed up with Bliss in her first debut on there, and then she disappeared, came back in November of 2016, on November 23rd, then made an appearance on December 21st. Well, I haven't watched the tapings of NXT in a long time, so there probably was some in-between moments or background moments. But her last appearance for NXT was between, after she had made a short hiatus, she returned on October 18th episode of NXT, competing in a triple threat match to determine who would enter the Fatal 4-Way match at War Games, which was won by Ember Moon, who subsequently won the Women's Championship. And her final match was against Ruby Riott, who she lost to, which was taped before NXT TakeOver War Games, and I was going to get into Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano. I'll get to that in a later date, but yeah, that was her last match. And then she made her debut as I think I know why they brought her up. Probably because due to her mixed martial arts background, they kind of thought, okay, we need some women. Vince ordered more women to get demoted and whatnot. Who do we got here? Let's see. Well, we need a woman that's tough, strong, and capable. Like, we already have Paige teaming up with them, but we need someone who shows that can bring something new to the table. We have Sonya Deville. She's a mixed martial artist. Get her. Also, there's another reason. We have an already better, more bigger star who's in the mixed martial arts department. Sonya Blazer, you know, that former horsewoman girl of the UFC, of MMA. Yeah, we can keep her in NXT, but you can have Sonya Deville. She has no use after this. So they just thought, okay, let's put her on the main roster. Okay. And now people are wondering, wait, who's Mandy Rose? Well, okay, Mandy Rose is a little bit more complicated because, okay, Sonya Deville, she technically didn't start wrestling until 2015. Yeah. But here's the thing. Sonya Deville was, since at the age of 17, according to the sites, she began training and competing in mixed martial arts. So she has a fighting background. And let's see who Mandy Rose is. She's let's see. I'm looking it up. She's okay. According to this, she was a former fitness and figure competitor. Okay. And she made her wrestling debut back in the same year as Sonya Deville did. And, well, that was pretty much... And yeah, after she got eliminated, like, during the season finale, she actually, ironically, faced Alicia Fox and placed second overall. She was a runner-up in the female side, regarding Tough Enough. And then it got revealed that after the show was over, Mandy Rose had signed a 5-year contract with the company, and then she made her debut in the NXT division of WWE, like, virtually a year later, on August 17th. So, yeah. And surprisingly, she also teamed up with Alexa Bliss. Yeah. Have you noticed that these two women have the same thing? They teamed up with Alexa Bliss. Now they're beating the living hell out of her with Paige. Okay, that's actually kind of ironically funny. Like, those two made their debuts teaming with Alexa Bliss, and now they're making their debut beating the living hell out of Alexa Bliss. I just feel like that's kind of funny. So, after that, she sort of disappeared and then made it and returned on September 2018, where she competed her first singles televised match against Ember Moon. And that was her second and last live broadcast appearance in NXT. Oh god, I think I might know who she might be. Okay, so I looked up something else about her. She became part of the main cast for the 5th season of Total Divas. I was like, wait a second. She doesn't have any form of fighting background, like, say, a wrestling background, an MMA background. She has a real bodybuilding and fitness and fashion fitness competition figure competitor, so... Is she what is going to be oh god, I completely forgot her name. It's oh man, I can't believe it. Eva Marie, yeah, that was it. I completely forgot about that girl. Yeah, so I'm thinking, is she gonna be Eva Marie? She's just gonna learn things as she goes, which will piss off the fans because they want someone who's, you know, well developed as a character and as a performer, and as an athletic person. So, yeah. So, okay, so Mandy Rose, okay, she has her looks going. Sonya Deville has her MMA background going and her looks. Something tells me Mandy Rose will be the bigger star here because Vince just likes a woman that doesn't really wrestle as much, because they wanted to give Eva Marie basically everything, but fans hated it so much. So, yeah. But, so these two women are now part with Paige, and that surprisingly wasn't the end of it. Then the following night on SmackDown Live, we got, honestly, a pretty surprising debut, though I won't say surprising as in good, more like, surprising as in, wait, what? Okay, we had 3 NXT women joining. Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, and Ruby frickin' Riott. Those 3 made their debut, attacking Naomi and Becky Lynch in the back, and then they interrupted Natalya's title match with Charlotte and proceeded to attack both of them. And, okay. I've only seen Ruby Riott on... I stopped watching the NXT matches, the NXT tapings, because they're taped, therefore I have no sense of caring to an extent. But, yeah, the last time I had seen Ruby Riott was, if I'm correct, yeah, I would say NXT TakeOver Chicago. After that, she was never seen again. Yeah. I'm like, she showed up in tapings, but yeah, I had not seen her. I had not seen her return in an NXT TakeOver after Chicago. That was her last TakeOver match. And then her final appearance in NXT would be before TakeOver War Games, the taping that would air the following week, and she would defeat Sonya Deville, and which is just ironic. But I'm thinking, like, why didn't she get a title? Why didn't she get a run with the title? She would have been awesome. I would have loved to see her fight Nikki Cross in the main event of a TakeOver pay-per-view. Oh man, they killed the dream. You killed the dream, WWE. You just hate us. And then Liv Morgan. Okay, every time I look at her, I'm thinking, is she supposed to be Carmella? A duplicate of her? In fact, even Carmella addressed this on Twitter saying, "Stop stealing my look." Which was funny, but I'm surprised they acknowledged the similarities. So, yeah, Liv Morgan, her last appearance was on back in October before her main roster debut, and yeah, she hasn't really. I don't recall anything she's done. I don't know. She's never shown up on a TakeOver show, so yeah. I'm trying to remember. What was her name? When was she? Like, I had a feeling like I've seen her somewhere at a TakeOver. Then I looked it up, and I realized, wait. She was at TakeOver Rival and at TakeOver Unstoppable as part of Tyler Breeze's entrances. And then she made her debut. She was working under the ring name Marley. Yeah. After that, she didn't really get a huge boost of momentum. She was just kind of there. Like, we will not deny her attractiveness. Like, a lot of these women are attractive. And Sarah Logan, I do not know who she was, but then I had to remember, oh wait, she was in the Mae Young Classic. Yeah, she was eliminated in the first round by Mia Yim. So, yeah, that's why I hardly remember her. And her last appearance in NXT TakeOver was to be in that Fatal 4-Way match, but she failed to win the Battle Royal on October 25th. Yeah. So, and Deluxe Man said, "Why are all these women so angry?" And I had a perfect answer, but he deleted the tweets before I could really tell him. It was because they got demoted. I mean, like, yeah, they get more pay, but let's be honest. Would you prefer being in NXT where you're able to be, you know, a performer, or instead of being a background character and not be allowed to show you off your abilities to the best you can? I'm like, granted, you get more pay on the main roster, but really it's sort of a demotion. Hell, if Nikki Bella, the reigning Divas champion at the time, would go to a convention and say, I would rather be in NXT. At least I'll be allowed to perform perform at the level I can be instead of what I'm given on the main roster. Then you know Vince has a problem. If Nikki Bella, and I have said this before, I'm not a huge fan of her, can say that, that should say that WWE screwed up big time with their Divas division. And the women's division, like, on Raw, it's hot, but it was sort of going somewhere, and then the brand extension happened, and then they just kept focusing mostly on Charlotte and Sasha Banks, and then Nia Jax later down the road. And then she disappears. Then now they're focusing on, after Charlotte left, they started focusing on Alexa Bliss. And everyone else was just background fodder to Alexa Bliss's evil reign. Like, there's an occasional Sasha Banks involvement, but yeah, so I'm getting tongue-tied here. Yeah, that was the women's revolution on Raw. SmackDown, they at least used all their women and had more than just one storyline going for them. Yeah, they had two storylines. We had Natalya versus Nikki Bella, and Naomi and Alexa Bliss, and occasionally Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. So, yeah, they had two storylines, whereas Raw just had one, and they kept dragging it along with hot potatoing it. Also, here's the thing everyone kind of loves about this whole these five women making their debut. They did the same thing, except they did it in reverse. Paige and her cronies attacked the Fatal 4-Way competitors first, then attacked Alexa Bliss backstage. Ruby Riott and her group attacked Naomi and Becky Lynch backstage, and then interrupted Natalya's title rematch against Charlotte Flair during their match. Which leads me to think of something. And this was what a lot of people were hearing. It's not been confirmed yet on TV, but it has been reported that the idea might be that Paige is actually leading an NXT women's invasion on both brands. And this was speculated on after SmackDown, and I was like, do it. Vince, I know you hate NXT because Dunn tells you everything you want to hear and also makes up lies because he hates Triple H because he's petty, because he doesn't want to lose his job, yet he's making every case for it that he needs to lose his job. I'm not saying he should live on the streets, but wait, he's set for life. Unless they can sue him for, damn it, for character defense. Okay, I could list off multiple charges of character defamation of character, but that would take too long. So, anyways, and I was like, okay, if they really do this, this will possibly be the most interesting thing I've ever seen. If they do this, this will give the women's divisions on both brands a much-needed boost, and it kind of would be awesome. Like, when was the last time they did a cross-stable brand? Like, I think Legacy, where they showed up on Raw and SmackDown once, but like I said, that was only once as far as I remember. But, yeah, a cross-branded stable attack with members on Raw, members on SmackDown, that would be awesome. I think I did that once when I was playing the old SmackDown vs. Raw games when they did Universe Mode. I think I did something like that. It's been so long I don't remember. But that would actually be pretty awesome. I would say, okay, you do this, Vince. I will take back some things. Not everything, but I will take back some things about you, because this would be an awesome idea. Just not ruin it. Just don't ruin it. You have a great idea here, but I fear you'll screw it up. Yeah, this is not much of a compliment. I know that. And then, also, I know I'm talking about mostly the women, but 205 Live made the announcement that Hideo Itami's going to be making his debut soon, like probably before the end of December, on 205 Live as part of the Raw Cruiserweight division. And all I was thinking is, well, that was a nice career. Good luck being irrelevant to Vince. Also, Cedric Alexander thinks he can break the glass ceiling as a cruiserweight and try and fight Roman Reigns for the IC title. Yeah, I don't see that happening unless they really were committed to that. But, yeah, Hideo Itami, yeah, he's screwed. He has no future now. Like, he was doing, like, I think his last appearance was, I guess, Aleister Black at Brooklyn 3. Honestly, I didn't know what happened. I was trying to figure out, wait, did he make his return or did he disappear? Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, I think it was his last appearance in that TakeOver Brooklyn 3. So, yeah, the Cruiserweight division is going to be his new home. And by his new home, I mean it's going to be his forced location because he's been oppressed by Vince McMahon's idiocy. Like, I get he was never going to be a top star because of the whole, you know, injury issues he has. But, come on. You can't even at least see him as a contender for the title. But no, like, I get you don't want him to get, like, I know he has an injury issue problem because he got injured once and then got injured again just a few weeks later. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, okay, so moving on. I was thinking to myself, would they do something with him? What would they do with him? Like, probably give him the Cruiserweight belt. Like, he's pretty much the only competitor left that could make something good with Enzo Amore. Though when Neville couldn't get a good match out of Enzo, I'm pretty sure that says something. So, if they give Hideo Itami the Cruiserweight title, I'll be surprised by that a little bit. But at the same time, I'm thinking, like, it's Hideo Itami. Just have him fight for the IC title. You don't have to let him win the belt, but it's at least a step up than being demoted into the gutter of 205 Live. I refuse to still call it the Cruiserweight division. I keep just calling it the 205 division because that's pretty much what it is. If I think of Cruiserweight division, I think of WCW when they actually gave time for their wrestlers to perform their best moves. Granted, the characters sucked because WCW didn't care, but at least they gave them time to showcase their moves in order to help them with the ratings. And then they screwed it all up. And at least SmackDown back in the old days had something until they screwed it up with Hornswoggle. I'm trying to wonder why I was even giving him the belt. So, yeah, moving on. Yeah, so we're getting a multitude of these debuts. And the women I wouldn't be surprised that gets the most success is the least talented one, Mandy Rose. Like, I could be wrong. Like, all these women could be successful. But the idea of Paige being the leader of a cross-branded stable actually sounds pretty awesome. And I kept saying this on Twitter. It sounds so awesome that Vince in no way will ever go along with it because it's too much of a good idea. Since they made their debuts very similar and mirroring off of each other. And plus, it would actually kind of... And here's the thing. If Survivor Series didn't happen, and it happened at a later date, I would have thought, okay, NXT versus WWE, do it. Just do it. Let have Triple H lead the NXT people fighting Vince's WWE guys, led by John Cena, because Vince can't wrestle anymore because he's overage. Dunn isn't a wrestler. Cena is pretty much the third member of the Triumvirate. That would be an awesome matchup. So, do it. Just have Paige lead these women in a cross-branded stable. It'd be awesome. They could conquer the WWE with this idea. Oh man. So, like I said, these debuts, while I didn't like Ruby Riot's debut with her faction because whereas Paige was given a hyped up moment and was allowed to bring in these two women for a surprise appearance, Ruby Riot, she just walked into the camera and said, "Hey, I'm Ruby Riot," and like, what? Like, did you watch Ruby? Okay, yeah, Vince doesn't watch NXT as far as I heard, but don't you at least want to make something interesting? Like, you can't have the Shield style debut anymore. You can't do what Paige did with her two cronies. So, yeah, why not just do that? Yeah, like, and plus, this isn't an average casual crowd that doesn't have the network, or at least doesn't watch NXT. You keep hearing NXT chants because they are what remains of the NXT crowd from War Games. So, why not just do that? Like, they could hype them up on the same show. Like, I'm not saying they have to spend weeks and weeks and weeks building vignettes only for disappointment to happen. We had enough of that. So, yeah, they could have made their debut more better than just popping in the camera and just saying, "Hey, I'm Ruby Riott." Oh, and these are to my two cronies. You will refer to them as Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. Okay, beat them up. Also, it was to also write off Becky Lynch from what I've heard. Apparently she's going to do a movie with The Miz in the new Marine movie, which is why Miz lost the Intercontinental Championship. So, yeah, so they're out. So, anyways. So, I'm hoping these five, along with Paige, do lead an NXT Women Invasion, which would be awesome. Though, considering they attacked Charlotte Flair, like, if they just went and attacked Natalya, that actually would have been interesting, considering Natalya is a, quote, WWE woman, not an NXT woman, or was from NXT. Like, she did show up in NXT, so I don't know if that would count, but anyways. So, those were my thoughts on the NXT post-Survivor Series debuts. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.